Hi everyone. Sorry I can't be there with you today at the Live Longer Better course, but it's great that you've signed up to do this course. And as part of that, you will hear about two of the walking groups that I run, one at Decoy Park in Newton Abbot and one from Gaia Coffee Shop, community coffee shop in Winner Street in Paignton. I also wanted to just tell you a little bit about my journey with, especially with activity. I used to be on very high dose prescription opioids, living in my armchair and in such a lot of pain. And it was only when I went into hospital to come off those painkillers that I was told about endorphins and how activity, walking, pacing the ward, in fact, would trigger the endorphins, which were the body's natural painkiller. I'd never heard that before. And lo and behold, it worked. And it worked really well, so much so that when I got home from hospital, we carried on going out walking every day. And in the beginning, I had one of these wheelie walkers with a seat on it. And I used to just go to places that were flat and just walk as far as I could manage. And then gradually, as I got a little bit fitter, progressed to walking poles and eventually no walking aids at all. But I kept up that daily walking habit. My wife Karen and I used to do it every single day without fail, and even if it was only a little bit, because obviously your good and bad days vary. So at the end of almost a year, I decided that it would be really good to set up a walking group for people that were struggling like I was. And so we discovered Ramblers Walking for Health, as it was then, and we did our walk leader training with the lovely Tom at Active Devon. We went to Plymouth to do our training, and then shortly after set up our group at Decoy Park in Newton Abbot. And that group is especially for people that haven't walked very far for whatever reason. Whether it be recovering from an illness or from surgery, or you just want to start to incorporate some activity, you'd be welcome to come and join us at Decoy. And it's only 3/4 of a mile around the lake. And we can stop as many times as people want to. And we only walk as fast as the slowest walker, and that is perfectly fine. Sometimes it takes us over an hour to do that 3/4 of a mile. And we just love to stop and take in the surroundings and all chat away, and it's a really friendly environment to be in. We stop and have a coffee at the end, and people are often quite a lot happier by the time we've done the walk, including me. And the other walk is from Gaia Community Cafe in Winner Street. And again, we wanted it to be a friendly place for people to come that wanted to walk with others and maybe have a purpose to go out and walk. And with that walk, we often walk down to Goodrington, to the seafront, or to Oldway Mansions, and sometimes to the harbour. And again, we only walk as fast as the slowest walker. And I think that's the same probably with all the Ramblers Wellbeing walks. If you want to find your local walk, if you're watching this and you're not near those two walks, you can put in your postcode on the Ramblers Wellbeing Walks website, and that will bring up all your nearest walks. Ours are supported, Decoy is supported by Teignbridge District Council in Newton Abbot, the lovely Chrissy, and our Paignton walk is supported by Bay Walks and the lovely Catherine. And you can always contact them as well if you want to have more details. it's a really good way to get out and get active, especially if it's something new to you, maybe like it was for me. No one had ever suggested to me that there was any other way of dealing with my pain other than taking medication, pain medication, or interventions, maybe injections, that sort of thing. So discovering that actually activity played a big part was huge for me. And it works on so many levels. It raises our spirits. It boosts your immune system. There's a whole raft of things that getting out and getting active can do for our bodies. But for me, I find that if I don't do it, my pain increases. So I try and, well, I do self-manage now my pain by being as active as I possibly can. And if all you can do today is get to the end of your driveway, then that's fantastic. Obviously, some of you have gone a little further than that if you're on the course with Jess. And that's brilliant in itself, just getting to the course, and try and do a little bit more tomorrow. And what I would say is don't suddenly get up tomorrow and think, I'm going to go and walk 5 miles, if that's not what you're used to. Because, of course, we get very quickly into that boom bust cycle. And tomorrow, the day after, you will feel a lot worse. So the idea is to build our activity up slowly, over a period of time, and that is a lot more comfortable for the body. And of course, you're still going to get those days where you feel like you can't walk at all, and that's fine. We have to listen to our bodies, and not push. I've heard recently a couple of lovely people that I work with mention working within our soft limits, and I really like that description. Don't push. Throw out that old thought of no pain, no gain. That's rubbish, in my opinion. So we need to work within our soft limits and not push ourselves too hard, or else we will pay the price. But thank you for listening. I'm glad you're on the course with Jess, and I know you'll learn a lot of really interesting things on this course. The course devised by Sir Muir Gray, of course. And we are all living longer, and so we certainly do need to live better. And this course gives us the tools to do that, and lots of useful local information at the same time. Thank you for listening. Might see you on the walk sometime soon. Bye for now.